So it's COVID-19 time. Everybody's home. There may be distractions. I'm doing the best I can. So you still think you want to go to law school in the fall of 2020? Maybe you have to put it off to 2021. Who knows right now? But you're still determined. Despite my warnings, you're going to go to law school. Even in the best of times, I've told you not to do it, but you're still going to do it, right? Okay. So let me give you a warning and some advice. The warning is this. If you insist on doing this, understand right now that there are people graduating who are going to probably have to put off getting licensed. Who knows what the state bars will do about that, if anything. They are a particularly lethargic group of ruling entities. Unlike the doctors that have just been given the go-ahead, the medical students rather, who have been given the go-ahead to just become doctors and skip the exams, don't expect the state bars are going to do that. Don't expect them to quickly adapt, which means these people still have to take their bar exams. They still have to find jobs because no one's hiring right now because, law firms can't adapt very quickly to doing things like interviews online, right? And realistically, business has dropped in a lot of areas because not everyone needs that desperately to get in to see an attorney when it means fighting a life or death disease in the process. Okay, so there are a whole group of people who are going to be looking for jobs when you're in your first year of law school. They won't find jobs that easily because the market for attorneys is anemic on a regular basis. And why that is a whole nother in-depth topic. Which means when you graduate from law school, they're going to be looking for jobs still that you are also looking for. I know you're thinking it'll be fine in 3 years, right? Will it really? Because when I graduated in 2005, things were particularly bad. I had grown up in the era of believing that every attorney started off making six figures, and it simply was not true. It was an outright lie. Some attorneys do very well. Some attorneys get very lucky right out of the gate, start their own practice, and have lots of business, and in fact have too much business. Understand that the people you hear saying that, assuming they're telling the truth, they are the exception to the rule. The people you hear talking about that, that's the sum total of people who are in that position. I'm not saying some people don't do well, they do, but it's not the norm. So when you get on your Facebook forums or whatever chat groups you have, and people say, don't worry, the business will always be there. It's not true. It's not remotely true. Despite what we've been told, the legal profession is not recession-proof at all. And even in a booming economy, you have to learn to sell yourself, and very few of us know how to do that. So my warning is this. Understand you will be competing with jobs, with people who are going to be out of work in the very near future when they expected to be working and going full steam ahead. And it's not just the people who are graduating, it's the people who are losing their jobs right now because the law firms don't have enough business coming in or because there's been a drop in business. Again, I harken back to 2005. I took the one job offer that I got when I got out of law school. There wasn't a choice. And a lot of my friends didn't get jobs. And some of them never got jobs. And here we are in 2020. So I'm telling you, that happened back when there wasn't a recession. So understand, this profession is not set up well to deal with business on a regular basis. And now you want to go into it when we're about to go into a recession and possibly a depression. So if you insist on doing it, keep that in mind. So here's my advice if you insist on doing this. And this advice is actually true at all times now and has been true for at least the past 20 years. But no one really harps on this like they should. When you go to law school, you do not need to sign up for the LSAT until you know what area of law you want to practice in. Now, yeah, it's possible you might say you want to be a criminal lawyer and defend criminals, and then you realize you really don't have the stomach for that. Or you want to be a prosecutor and vice versa, okay? But you really need to have a good idea of what area you want to practice in. You need to go to law school with laser precision focus. You take every class related to that subject. You take every volunteer opportunity related to that subject. Here's the mistake I made. It's kind of a mistake. It was a mistake for my career. It was not a mistake for the bar exam. For the bar exam, I made the point of taking as many classes as I could that would be on the bar exam. And that paid off. However, I did not take classes related to what I wanted to practice. And that's a problem. For example, there was an evening class taught by an adjunct professor. And it was, the credits were a little bit of an issue. It was 1 credit less than what I needed. What I should have done was taken the class, shuffled everything else around it to make the credits work. Why? Okay, so if you have an adjunct professor, that means they are actively practicing. That means they have connections. So if you can get in their good graces, they may be able to help you find a job or recommend you, or at least give you a good reference that will make the difference in you getting the job. The average full-time law school professor hasn't worked and practiced law in a very long time, and their connections that will actually help you are going to be weak at best, normally. So those evening classes taught by adjunct professors, really important. And they're also important because they tell you what's going on in the real world right now. They'll tell you what the landscape is really like. But hear me again when I say, go into this with laser precision focus, knowing good and well what you want to practice. You take every volunteer opportunity, you take every class, no matter how inconvenient it is, just take it, work everything else around it. And do everything you can to stay in that area. And if you can't stay in that area, do something that's tangentially related. I'm not sure if I said that right, but I think I did. Something that is at least indirectly or on the curve related to what you want to do. It will matter. I have one final piece of advice, and that is either set up a wiki or a blog about yourself. No one cares about you. Okay, just be clear about this. No one cares about you. No one is interested in your hobbies. Nobody cares. Put up a professional website. This should not be that difficult to do in this day and age. Do get professional photographs. Don't have your friend take it with your phone. Get professional photographs done to put on your website of yourself. List the classes you've taken. List your undergrad degree. List any relevant work history. Relevant work history. We don't care if you worked at McDonald's unless you're going to be working maybe in the slip and fall industry. If you're going to be doing that, then the fact that you worked in retail might actually be relevant. But most importantly, the thing you're going to do with this blog is you're going to talk about what you're learning in class and how it applies in the real world today. Because in the best of times, lots of people are competing with you for the job that you want. And the way you're going to show that you are sincerely interested in the subject, sincerely making an effort, and are actually knowledgeable and keeping up to date is by blogging about it. You don't have to do it every day. I mean, my goodness, no one wants to hear from you that much. But once a week, once every 2 weeks, a reasonable schedule like that, okay? So if you insist on still applying and going to law school, remember there's going to be lots of competition for jobs. There will probably be fewer jobs. Make sure you know what your practice area is going to be and hunt it like you are hunting down your dinner and there is no food in the grocery stores. And then make sure you advertise in some form or fashion on your Facebook post. That's not always the best. Preferably your own professional looking website dedicated to you blogging about this topic, okay? Do that and you might have a chance. And good luck. Try to stay away from law, but if you insist on going into it, good luck.